I'm increasingly concerned about my shed roof. From inside, I have noticed that there are traces of daylight visible. It's a standard felt roof, but using roofing felt is difficult. So I will be using corrugated bitumen roofing sheets that can be cut to size and nailed on. The materials are from the Corapol BT range from Clear Amber. It includes a whole lot of supporting products such as capped screws, capped nails, flashing or verge strips, ridge panels, as well as the roofing panels themselves. They are very light and not at all brittle. This is not a tutorial. I have never done any roofing before, so this video is just a record of what was done. This saw is becoming very blunt. Looking closely at the saw, I can see why the bitumen needed scraping away, at least after cutting each sheet. I have cut the verge strips to the same length as the sheets, but the ends need to be cut in a mitre so that the strips will meet neatly at the ridge. Now it's time to remove the old flashing to see how well the new flashing fits. Oh, that's pretty good. The flashing can be screwed on from the top or the side, but the shed is so close to another outbuilding that the screws will have to be put in from the top. For strength, it would be better to get the screws as far away from the end of the purlins as possible. So that means as far into the shed as possible. The shed does not have purlins at the eaves, so each verge strip will have to be screwed to the side panels, which don't extend out as far as the ridge and middle purlins. So I will drill the hole as far into the shed as possible and put the screw in at an angle. I found that it is possible to shape the screw gasket so that it fits in the corner. Once I've got these two top screws in, at least I won't be worried about them falling off while I'm working. This is just a trial fitting, without the sealing gasket around the screw. It's now time to take the old felt off. The straps were intended to prevent the sheets from sliding off, but that didn't happen. Rock. And lock. Later, I tied strings between the screws of the verge strips as a quicker way to show where the nails should go to ensure that they contacted the purlins. I will lay the sheets towards the house so that the vertical joints will be less noticeable. There is lots of overlap between the sheets, so I won't worry about the wind direction. Eaves packing. Yeah. That nail will have to come out. The enlarged hole could let in water. It is reassuring that these annular ring nails are so difficult to get out, as it means the roof panels are not coming off in a strong gale. Fortunately, there's enough overlap that I can move the neck sheet down a bit and cover that damaged hole. Something I have been worrying about all the time I've been thinking of doing this roofing job. What if the phase of the corrugations doesn't match up with the flashing at the far end? And lock. It's caused quite a few sleepless nights, but in fact it doesn't seem to be a major problem. But it would seem best to get the verge strips and panels in position first before putting any nails in. The ridge panels are meant to be nailed in place, but they're so wide the nails would miss the purlins and come through the underside of the shed roof. There is a more advanced Super Ridge product available. Unfortunately, the retailer I use does not carry that product, so I am using the budget ridge panels. I have decided to glue them in place, hoping to avoid nails coming through the roof. The ridge panels need to be weighed down for 48 hours while the adhesive sets, and it is only convenient to do one panel at a time, so 8 days are required to do all 4. I'm glad I don't have to glue roofing felt down onto the whole roof. When I came to check the glue, it had not stuck as well as I'd hoped, so I decided to use a few nails as well. Nails close to the centre of the ridge panels contacted the purlins, but at the edges they did come through. It is not really a problem for this job. The ridge panels still look good from the outside, so I simply hammered the nails flat. The untreated wood where the old felt was nailed on was visible and a bit unsightly, but I was able to cut a combined barge board and soffit from offcuts of roofing sheets. There's one last thing to do. There's a gap between the verge strips right at the ridge, which I filled in with black caulk and a caulking gun. It's functional, and these bitumen sheets have turned a roofing felt job that I dreaded into a practical DIY activity.
you.